Hey guys, it's Sarah from Dinners Made Simple. Today I'm going to be showing you how I use my Instant Pot to make yogurt using the cold start method. So if you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, hit that little bell to be notified anytime we post a video, and don't forget to subscribe. So now let's make some yogurt. To do the cold start method and use this recipe in your Instant Pot, there's one very important piece of information that you will need. Your Instant Pot needs to have a yogurt button. If your Instant Pot doesn't have a yogurt button, you'll need to use the boil method. The ingredients that you'll need for the cold start method are an ultra filtered milk. It doesn't have to be the Fairlife brand, as long as it's an ultra filtered milk and not just an ultra pasteurized milk. It has to be ultra filtered milk. You can use the whole milk, you can use 2%, as long as it's ultra filtered. That's very important. You'll also need a starter yogurt. This yogurt is my favorite. It's the French style yogurt from Yoplait. And if you look on the back of your yogurt when you're looking for one, it needs to have a live culture. This yogurt has live cultures. It's important. Without the live culture, your yogurt's not gonna set up. And then you need a creamer. I'm using Natural Bliss whipped buttercream. That's our favorite. You can also use the Natural Bliss vanilla, and they have a salted caramel, but whipped buttercream is our favorite. It makes it a little sweeter and gives it just a little bit better taste. It's not as tangy with the whipped buttercream. So the other utensils that you're going to need for your cold start yogurt are a tablespoon. You're going to need a whisk. And you're also going to need some type of lid to go on top of your Instant Pot. I'm using just my glass lid from my Calphalon pans. It fits over top and completely covers the inner liner of my Instant Pot. You can use your regular lid. You can just turn it backwards because your Instant Pot is not going to pressurize. It's going to cook at a low temperature for the duration of its incubation period. So you just need a lid to cover it. So your first step in making yogurt using the cold start method is using a stainless steel pot and making sure it's nice and clean. So we've got that ready to go. Now let's get ready to add our ingredients. Now my second step is I like to go ahead and hit my yogurt button, and I do 8 hours. You can do 9 hours if you like your yogurt a little tangier. My family likes theirs nice, creamy, and sweet, so we're doing 8 hours. So our next step is just to add our Fairlife whole ultra filtered milk. We're going to add about half of the bottle to the inner liner. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm using a 52-ounce bottle of the ultra filtered whole Fairlife milk. Now our next step is we're going to go ahead and add our yogurt with the live culture. So go ahead and remove that. You want to make sure it is fresh yogurt, not something you've had in the refrigerator. So we're going to go ahead, use our tablespoon, and add 2 tablespoons of the live yogurt to the pot of milk. Now you want to use your whisk, and we're going to make sure that we mix in our starter yogurt really good and make sure it's dissolved and there's no clumps. If you leave it clumpy or it's kind of grainy, then your yogurt is going to come out grainy. So go ahead and mix that up really good. So we've got that mixed in good. Now we want to go ahead and add the rest of our ultra filtered milk. So our next step is just to add our creamer. Natural Bliss is a milk-based creamer, and I like to use the whipped buttercream because that's my family's favorite flavor. If you'll notice when you start to put it in, it gets cream stuck to the bottom. So if you'll add half the bottle and then shake it really well, then you'll be able to get the cream that has fallen to the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add half the bottle to our milk mixture. So I added half. I'm gonna put my lid back on, and then I'm gonna shake the bottle. And you'll see it starts to take it off the bottom. Now I'm gonna add the rest into my mixture. And then I'm gonna take my whisk again and just mix it up really well. And again, just make sure there's no clumps, it's not grainy. Just mix it up. So now we have our yogurt mixture going in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna just cover it with a glass lid from my Calphalon pan. This is gonna incubate for about 8 hours. You can do, like I said, you can do 9 if you would like your yogurt a little tangier. We like ours a little sweet, so we incubate for 8 hours. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna move this to the refrigerator as soon as it's done incubating. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed, and I'm gonna get up in the morning and take care of this yogurt.
Good morning, guys. Our yogurt has incubated for 8 hours overnight. As you can see on the screen, it's now displaying yogurt. So now we're going to check the consistency, and then we're going to move this to the refrigerator so it can chill for 4 to 6 hours, and then we're going to put it into individual containers. So let's check the consistency. So to check our consistency, we're just going to go ahead and remove the lid. And there'll be some condensation on your lid, and that's normal. So we're going to do a spoon test. So you're just going to go right into the middle and put our spoon in, and it'll stand, so it's good to go. It's got a nice thick creamy texture to it. So now we're going to take this and we're going to put our lid back on. We're going to move it to the refrigerator so it can chill for the next 4 to 6 hours. I have glass shelves in my refrigerator, so before I put the warm pot in my refrigerator, I like to put a towel down. So we're going to go ahead and get the pot into the refrigerator. So now I've got my yogurt in the refrigerator. I'm going to let that chill for 4 to 6 hours, and then I'm going to be back to package it up into individual portions. Stay tuned.
So my yogurt's been in the refrigerator for 4 to 6 hours, and now I'm going to take it out and I'm going to package it into these little individual containers. We like to put some fruit on the bottom and some granola on the top. I get these little containers on Amazon. They're just little Ziploc 8-ounce containers. I'll put a link to these in the description. But the first thing we're going to do now that our yogurt has set is we're going to remove our lid very carefully, because we don't want the condensation that's on the lid to fall down in the yogurt to make it watery. So we're going to remove our lid, and then you can see our yogurt. We're going to mix it up a little bit so it gets good and creamy. As you can see, has a great consistency to it. It's not too thick, not too thin. So I'm just going to mix it up. Give it a little mix. Kind of breaks up all those proteins and makes it kind of the consistency that you see in a store. Kind of just a little on the thicker side and a little on the thinner side. Now if you want a Greek style yogurt, but when you put your yogurt mixture from after the incubation period into the refrigerator, you can use a yogurt strainer, which is a bowl that has a mesh around it that goes inside of another bowl, and then the whey drains to the bottom while it cools in the refrigerator. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make these up for my family. I'm going to put a little bit of peaches that I've diced up in the bottom, and then I'm going to put some yogurt. It's actually much easier to use a ladle with this, but I'd already used my spoon, so we're just going to stay with that. So put some yogurt on there, and then I'm just going to put some of the honey nut granola on the top. I'll put my lid on it, and then these will go into the refrigerator, and they'll be good for 7 to 10 days, and then I'll be making another batch probably in 5, so it really doesn't matter that they last 7 to 10 days. So that's how you make yogurt in the Instant Pot. Make sure if you enjoyed this video, you give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification so you'll know anytime we post a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. So I've got everything in my pot cleaned out and scraped out. I ended up finishing loading my containers with my ladle. So if you've stuck around this far, you want to know the cost breakdown and how much that my recipe yields. The cost for my area may be different from yours, but in my area, which is in Southern Kentucky, for the Fairlife Ultra Filtered Whole Milk, I pay $2.99 at my local Kroger's. I also got my Natural Bliss Buttercream Whipped Coffee Creamer at my local Kroger. It was on sale for $1.99, which is normally our price, so it was $1.99. The French Vanilla from Yoplait yogurt starter that I get is $1.49, which brings my total up to $6.77. And my yield for my recipe is normally the same. I usually get 11 to 12 of these 8-ounce containers. I like to leave a little bit on top even when I just put the plain yogurt in, so that we can add vanilla, or one of my daughters likes to add frozen fruit. But I usually get 11 to 12 of these 8-ounce containers. Even if I put fruit on the bottom and granola on the top, it still always equals out to about 11 or 12. So that's the cost in the breakdown. I've got a link to the recipe on our website. If you have any other questions, just drop them down in the comments. And again, thanks for watching, guys.